Why did these scenes end up on the cutting room floor? We'll let you decide. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Sex and the City deleted scenes. For this list, we're looking at the most compelling scenes that didn't make it into the final version of the show. If you like what you're hearing, be sure to check out the full song at the link below. Number 10. Carrie and Aiden Eat in Bed. The early days of a relationship are when you spend all your time together learning everything about each other. And this deleted scene reveals a bit about Aiden. Sure, we know he likes eating in bed, even if he has to do it alone. But here, he manages to get Carrie to join him as she feeds him takeout and they talk about their romantic histories.
So, mister, when did you lose your virginity?
15, but I was also drunk, so if you want to know anything other than her name, I'm going to come up empty.
It's very romantic.
Carrie asks Aiden about his first time, and his response is a little unexpected. But actually, maybe it makes sense. Remember, when Carrie confronted him about not sleeping with her right away, he did say he'd slept with women quickly before and it didn't work out.
So my new thing is, I just want to try to sleep with somebody I care about.
So come to think of it, we don't know much about the man he was before he met Carrie at all. Number 9. Carrie's birthday plans. The episode this scene was cut from comes just after Carrie and Big have broken up, the first time. In the scene, Carrie and Stanford walk down the streets of New York discussing what Carrie should do for her birthday.
Because I feel like an old slag and I don't want to celebrate the occasion.
Sweetheart, that is so not true. And if you really were an old slag, I wouldn't be caught dead with you.
Clearly, Stanford wants her to plan something fabulous, but Carrie says that at her age, she only wants to celebrate with the man she loves, or all by herself. We know that she did have at least one seriously awful birthday on the show, so maybe there's something to this way of thinking.
Hi. Sorry for holding the table. I can't imagine where everybody is.
Ultimately, Carrie does end up celebrating this milestone with her friends and Big at a Moroccan restaurant, but as she anticipated, the evening does end on a bit of a down note.
As I watched him go, I realized the one thing I couldn't say to Mr. Big was, I'm still not over you.
Number 8. Last cigarette. Partway through season 6, Big needs heart surgery. Some of us could have told you that in season 1. And Carrie steps in to take care of him.
I'm having a little heart thing done.
What?
They found a blockage, so I'm getting a, angioplasty. Simple procedure, no big deal. But I can kiss these goodbye.
Though she has supposedly quit smoking, she shares Big's last cigarette with him before he has to go under the knife.
I want to drag.
No. You quit.
I want to share your last cigarette.
I'm not dying.
Regardless, it'll be the last one for both of us.
This episode ultimately marks a turning point in their relationship, and it's full of important symbolism. Carrie and Big smoking together is used throughout the show to represent how unhealthy and self-destructive they are together. So this is a significant moment that has some serious meaning behind it.
Oh, I like that.
Number 7. Charlotte's Bunny Rant. Charlotte's relationship with her mother-in-law Bunny is contentious practically from the very start.
I was there last week. Disappointing crab, and the host was rude. Maybe you should go to Cote Basque instead.
Alrighty.
Charlotte was impressed with Bunny's technique. Trey had been looking forward to cloche all week.
So when she and Trey separate, she channels all of her anger about their failed relationship towards Bunny.
Her relationship with Trey is it's beyond edible. On Easter morning, she would put chocolate eggs under his pillow, and he's 43.
As she rants to her divorce lawyer Harry, she tears into Bunny and Trey's relationship, telling him how overbearing and borderline creepy she was. There are plenty of Charlotte Bunny rants at this point in the series, but what this scene gives us that we otherwise hadn't yet seen was Harry not really letting Charlotte get away with things. It's clear to Harry that Charlotte's rage is slightly misplaced, but he's subtle as he tries to redirect her into blaming the person who was actually responsible for the dissolution of their relationship, Trey.
I'm not funny, I'm furious. That woman single-handedly ruined my marriage.
Yeah, well, your husband may have had a little hand in there as well.
No. Trey was very agreeable. He did everything he could to make our separation easier.
Really? That's great. When was the last time you spoke to your ex?
Number 6. Sam threatening Big. Carrie is speaking at a wedding and finally manages to get Big to come as her date.
His forever was as simple as her smile. And suddenly it hit me. 2 people were committing to a life together, and I couldn't even get a guy to be on a card with me.
It's clear by this point in the series to everyone, at least to her friends and the audience, that he isn't exactly reliable. And in this deleted scene, Samantha finally and drunkenly chooses to do something about it.
Oh, apparently I've slept with every man in Manhattan except the bartender and you.
Are you drunk?
Just drunk enough.
While Sam isn't what you'd call the cuddly type, she is fiercely protective of her friends. And she takes a moment alone with Big to give him a little talking to. This short scene definitely would have enhanced her character development and would have made his behavior later in the episode that much worse. So it's too bad it had to end up on the cutting room floor.
If you don't have the balls to give her everything she deserves, you better leave her the hell alone.
Number 5. Big bursting into Carrie and Aiden's room. In Season 4, Aiden proves his sainthood by letting Big come up to his cabin despite the fact that Carrie had an affair with him.
Vegan diet bullshit.
All right. Give me a magazine.
Wait. Listen to this one. I'm looking for that someone special. She's not looking for anybody. Bullshit.
This was already a sign that Aiden was absolutely too good for Carrie, but he proves his patience and kindness even further in this scene when a drunken Big bursts into their room in the middle of the night.
Well, I think that one thing that this hideous day has hopefully proven to you is that there is nothing sexual left between him and me. There isn't.
Baby, I'm lonely.
We're sleeping. Go back to bed.
While Carrie tries to make it clear that his behavior has nothing to do with her, his moan yelling her name and calling her baby really don't lend much credence to her point.
Carrie, baby.
Go to sleep.
Number 4. Trey at Sam's pool party. At the end of Season 5, Charlotte and Trey are no longer together, and she's recently started seeing her divorce lawyer, Harry.
It's you, it's your back.
What's wrong with my back?
It's very hairy. You're not supposed to be able to grab someone's back.
Hey, this is how I was born. What am I supposed to do about it?
Get it waxed.
In the season finale, Sam throws a party at Richard's Hampton's house, and Charlotte is embarrassed of her new beau.
Trey's here. Came with Fitzy's brother. Didn't know it was Samantha's party. He's coming this way.
Bye, Harry. Say bye-bye, Brady.
It's already a pretty cringe-worthy storyline, but things are made even worse in this deleted scene where we actually see that Trey has arrived at the party, not realizing that Samantha was the one throwing it. We're curious why they'd film this scene and not include it, especially considering Trey hadn't been on the show since the previous season, and this would have marked his last ever appearance. We figure the audience's second-hand embarrassment may have been a factor. Also, we're just gonna say it. Harry's a great guy, and they did him dirty with this storyline.
How you doing? Harry Goldenblatt. I handled your divorce.
Oh. Well, so that's a fine how do you do.
Charlotte, honey, could you put a little sunscreen on my back?
Number 3. Carrie leaves her laptop behind. Near the show's end in the later half of Season 6, Carrie made the decision to go to Paris to be with the Russian.
Bonjour. Merci beaucoup.
It was clear to the audience that leaving New York was a mistake, and the show's creators dropped plenty of clues to make that clear. In this deleted scene, they show Carrie figuratively leaving her whole life behind when she receives an Hermes scarf from Petrovsky and decides to leave her laptop in New York so she can cram the gift into her bag instead. It's possible the producers decided this was a little too on the nose, not to mention the fact that there's no way anyone, least of all a writer, would pick a scarf over their computer, even if it is Hermes.
Hi. I'm not quite ready yet.
Number 2. Alternate ending. Big choked. Sex and the City lore says that alternate endings were shot for the series finale to ensure that as few people as possible had the actual inside scoop on how the show was going to wrap up.
Later that day, I got to thinking about relationships.
While all the endings take place in the cafe that was home to so many get-togethers, the contents of the conversation change in each version. In this iteration, Carrie has clearly just told the girls that Big choked when he got to Paris and that there will be no happily ever after.
He went all the way to Paris to choke.
I'm going all the way to Napa to choke him.
Oh, let it go, ladies. It's big. It's the big ending we've all been waiting for.
There's another version that's strikingly similar to the one we saw on TV, where Carrie goes into further detail about Big's plans to move back to New York. And while it does give us a few extra details, we think the way it really ended worked beautifully.
Big is going to fly back to Napa tomorrow and start to get things in order to move back to New York.
Is he gonna live with you?
Well, you know, we talked, and we think he'll get his own place. We don't want to rush things. It's only been 6 years.
Exactly.
Well, I have some big news as well.
Before we unveil our number one pick, here are some honorable mentions. That's no wind. Carrie and Miranda hear noises in the night.
Did you hear it?
Yeah, sweetie, it was just the wind. Go back to sleep. It's okay.
That's no wind. I am now throwing back the covers.
What the hell is that?
Shh! It's my in-case knife.
Carrie speaks French. She goes back to the store where she thinks she lost her necklace.
J'ai téléphoné et j'ai laissé un message. J'ai perdu mon collier.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Alternate ending. Marry the Russian. We have a feeling no one bought that this was the actual ending of the series because it just feels so wrong.
I can't believe you got married.
I can't believe you got married to the Russian.
I can't believe you got married to the Russian without us.
I didn't.
In this scene, Carrie reveals that she's actually marrying the Russian and asks the girls if they're free that weekend to celebrate. She then asks all 3 of them to be her maids of honor.
He's coming back on Friday. So what are you all doing Saturday? Will you be my maid of honor? Will you be my maid of honor?
Will you be my maid of honor?
Yes!
Really?
It's a sweet moment, but Carrie ending up with Petrovsky is obviously not the big finale we'd all been waiting for. We know Twitter wasn't around back then, but can you imagine? Also, if Carrie had decided to walk down the aisle with Petrovsky, what would have happened in the movies?
I'm a New York girl. I could have whatever I want.
Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you're a fan of the song playing right now, be sure to check out the music video for it right here.